In 2010, Judy Edwards had a problem. She was constipated. The only advice her doctor could give her was to lift her feet on the toilet to reduce strain and discomfort. Judy went away and did her research, and was amazed to discover that 2/3 of the world's population squatted to poop, and they generally had better colon health as a result. She piled books under her feet, which helped a little bit, but caused a trip hazard in her bathroom. When she shared her frustration with her son Bobby, he decided to build her a stool that created the right position and wrapped around the base of the toilet for easy storage. It worked. Judy's problem was solved. In 2011, the Squatty Potty, as Judy named it, was born. But as a family who took health and wellness seriously, they didn't want to stop there. Judy and Bobby decided to share their discovery with friends and family, giving away handmade stools as Christmas presents that year. The stools went down a storm, and they were soon getting a flood of requests to make more for friends of friends. They figured one happy customer led to 20 more. The next step was to try out a trade show, where sales were terrible. But they considered it a success, as they learned what was wrong with their messaging, and changed it. To cash in on the positive word of mouth their sample stools had created, they decided to send out more. This time they focused on health and wellness bloggers and social media personalities, even those with a relatively small audience. The marketing blitz would cost them, but they were convinced it would be worth it. This investment paid off, and online chatter was building. The samples fell into the hands of TV and radio show researchers, who were keen to feature the stool. Their invention was championed by TV personality Dr. Oz, and in November 2012, the business got a big boost when the wooden Squatty Potty was featured on Emmy Award-winning show, The Doctors.
Don't mess up my Squatty Potty.
You need a squatter spotter there.
I want to break this bad boy in myself. Get away.
They soon needed to move production out of the family garage and into a professional facility. In 2013, the first plastic Squatty Potty was produced, and soon afterward it was discussed on the Howard Stern show, with the radio personality repeatedly telling listeners how much he loved it. The company was growing fast, with orders coming in from 6 continents and all 50 US states. It was time to hire an experienced CFO to keep them on track. By mid-2013, they had sold 65,000 units, but were unable to keep up financially. They needed to ramp up production to keep up with the rising demand. Up to this point, the company had been funded by Judy's retirement savings, credit against their home, and investment from Bobby's brother, totaling around $30,000. But they needed more. Judy had been a keen Shark Tank viewer and knew that an appearance on the show could take their business to the next level. It's November 2014. Judy and Bobby enter the tank and tell the sharks they are looking for a $350,000 investment for a 5% share in their business. They unveil a standard American toilet and show a short video to explain the muscular problems that the seated position creates. Bobby sits and continues his pitch from the raised throne, demonstrating the Squatty Potty and the positional changes it supports. He invites the sharks to try it out, an offer that none of them seems keen to accept. Instead, they want to get down to business. Kevin O'Leary is keen to hear how they justify valuing their business at $7 million. Bobby tells them they had been in business for 3 years and sold $1 million of Squatty Potty in their first year alone. Robert Herjavec finds that hard to believe. Bobby goes on to share that they hit $2.7 million in year 2, and in the first 2 quarters of year 3, they've already got to $2 million in sales. And they're only selling online with no retail outlets.
They're all available online. You know, we have a website.
There's no retail?
And Amazon. We're not in retail yet.
Holy crap, you're selling.
Holy crap, right? There's a crap load of money in Squatty Potty.
Lori knows how they've hit these numbers. She remembers seeing the product on Dr. Oz. Kevin is concerned that someone else could do the same thing, and Bobby shows him their design patents. The sharks want to talk about profits. Bobby tells them that each unit sells for $25 and costs $4.50 to make in the United States. They are all impressed by the margins, and Mark Cuban wants to understand why they need someone else's cash. Bobby explains that they are missing opportunities that they just can't fund. One of their priorities is to gain FDA compliance and medical reimbursement coverage, so the Squatty Potty can be sold as a medical device, as well as a bathroom accessory. They would also like to get their product into retail stores.
This is the other issue. Why aren't we in retail? Because people don't know how to put this in retail.
Why would you want to go into retail when you're killing it right now?
Why wouldn't we want to be in every Walgreens and CVS?
Kevin asks why people couldn't just use a stack of books, and Bobby tells them they could, but that's like cutting a steak with a butter knife. He goes on to share that they expect to hit $7 million in sales in 2014, which will give them $1 to $1.5 million. It could be more, but the cost per customer acquisition is high. However, for every dollar they are currently spending advertising on Howard Stern, they get $4 to $5 back. Kevin is interested but feels that 5% of the business is insignificant. He makes an offer. He will give them the money for 10% of their business. Robert is impressed by the revenues, but isn't convinced people will change the way they use the toilet. He's out. Kevin repeats his offer, and Bobby counters with $700,000 for 10%. Kevin declines. Lori Greiner agrees with Kevin that 5% is too small. She believes a product would work on QVC, but would want 10%, so she matches the previous offer. Bobby counters with 10% for $500,000, which Lori refuses. Mark accuses Bobby of talking out of both sides of his mouth by valuing the company at $7 million, but at the same time still needing a shark's help. He's out. Barbara is ready to give her opinion. She tells Bobby that she doesn't believe what he's pitching.
I
trust your mom.
Oh,
well,
no.
you're hopping and weaving a lot, I feel, and it's making me more nervous as I listen. I'm definitely out.
Kevin repeats that he wouldn't take less than 10%. Bobby and Judy share a look and make a decision. They accept Lori's offer and are excited about her input moving forward. What we didn't see in the episode was that during their hour in the tank, Barbara did take the chance to try out the product, but the segment only made the outtake real.
This is the only way I'm going to catch Mark Cuban.
That was brilliant.
You know, Barbara, I cannot unsee that.
Within 4 days of the episode airing in November 2014, the company was overwhelmed with orders, and the Squatty Potty had completely sold out. A few months after their episode aired, Lori meets up with Judy and Bobby to check out one of the 1,100 Bed Bath & Beyond stores where they have secured prominent floor-to-ceiling displays. Judy shares how the Shark Tank effect immediately put their business under pressure.
The night we aired, 158,000 people visited our website.
Within 2 days, we sold $1 million in Squatty Potties. It's been 3 months since we aired, and our total sales are $12.3 million.
In January 2016, the entrepreneurs appeared on Beyond the Tank and revealed that they achieved $7 million in sales the previous year and were on track to hit $12 million in sales for the next 12 months. The problem they were facing was advertising, and specifically sponsors being uncomfortable with certain potty-based language, a lot of which they used to educate consumers about their product. They needed to alter their message to suit a more mainstream audience. Lori meets them at Squatty Potty HQ and is obviously very happy with her investment so far. She's amazed at the $3 million in sales they achieved in the first 3 weeks after the episode aired.
Well, we've been selling them great.
I know.
I mean, honestly, I have never had a product do such amazing numbers the night of Shark Tank and the first few weeks after. I mean, seriously, I think it's the highest one ever.
She's certainly not ready to let these sales plateau and is keen to figure out how to get people talking about their natural bodily functions. Lori tells them that infomercials can work well, but Bobby shares that they had a bad and expensive experience with a creator in the early days of the business. When they canceled the contract, they were shocked to see the exact same commercial airing 6 months later, selling a copy of the Squatty Potty. Their mentor tells them that that was a valuable lesson, and it's the reason she's so passionate about entrepreneurs getting patents and other protection for their ideas. She suggests that they produce their own online videos to keep control of the brand. By advertising on their website and social media channels, they can avoid the restrictions and regulations they've been struggling with. She has an idea for a silly and lighthearted video that she hopes will go viral, and 3 weeks later, they meet again for the shoot.
This is totally my area of expertise. I have 18 years of selling on TV, making videos, of selling online. I'm the right shark for this.
The goal is to get the message out in a fun and accessible way, so they can keep expanding and growing the brand. In the end, Lori's video featuring happy, real-life customers of all ages didn't go viral, but another piece of Squatty Potty content did.
This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn. They're good at pooping. But you know who sucks at pooping? You do.
In a short video clip featuring a smooth-talking prince and Dookie, a pooping unicorn, the benefits of squatting were explained using an ice cream analogy, and the viewers loved it and shared it. The video has over 400 million views to date. Bobby had previously approached Harmon Brothers, a company known for turning gross into gold, and was quoted $250,000, which he didn't have, to make and seed the video. With the Shark Tank investment, he could get the project started, and paid chunks of cash whenever the company could spare it. It was worth every cent. Sales and publicity soared.
The cult of the Squatty Potty has been growing for years. What are you going to buy if you win your tonight?
Say something wild, a Squatty Potty for all my GI issues.
Even people playing the lottery dream of owning one.
By the end of 2016, Squatty Potty had made a successful pitch to retail giant Walmart, and anticipated revenue rising 5 times as a result. The range was expanded to include multiple stool models, bathroom sprays, accessories, and supplements. The owners were invited to speak about colon health across the country. In January 2020, there was another update on what was now an international multi-million-dollar company. Judy and her husband Bill had made the decision to retire, but the mother and son team behind Squatty Potty were not ready to sell their business just yet. Instead, they let go of half the company as they began a partnership with another investor.
Squatty Potty's partnered with over 20 major retailers. We're also in 20 countries all over the world. We've now done $175 million in sales since Shark Tank.
Heading out to the dream home Judy and Bill have been able to build, Lori reminisces about the other sharks laughing at their business idea, but reveals it's one of the most successful stories ever to appear on the show. Judy had been preparing to retire with little savings before her appearance on Shark Tank, and calls the Squatty Potty story the American dream. But not everything had gone smoothly for the company. In 2017, the company was forced to distance itself from adverts featuring Kathy Griffin after she posed with a fake severed head of President Donald Trump. They also ran into trouble with the FDA for failing to submit reports related to the stool's use as a medical device, though the company was later cleared. Around the same time, 2,400 units of the kids' version of the stool, the Squatty Potamus, was recalled after 2 children were hurt falling from the removable top step. However, the business continued to thrive and grow, with 5 million stools being sold by 2018, and Bobby still taking a very hands-on role in the partnership. In 2021, it was time for him to move on from his role at the company. Squatty Potty was sold to consumer product firm Atarian Inc. for $31 million. That makes it one of Lori's top 5 investments. At some point, she invested more into the company, giving her a 20% stake. The business took $222 million in sales over 7 years. Viewers were not surprised that Lori invested in the Squatty Potty, as she has an impressive track record for spotting great products on the show. But many were mystified at Barbara's assessment of Bobby, who most thought appeared nervous, and understandably so. There was actually more to Barbara's interaction with Bobby than was shown during the episode. What viewers didn't see was that after telling Bobby she didn't trust him, Barbara asked him to draw a tarot card to confirm her suspicions, but it didn't work out as she expected.
She wanted to prove her point, so then she had him come over and draw a tarot card, and he drew the Queen of Coin, which is the best financial card you can draw, and I think it set her back a little bit.
If fans of the show already felt that Barbara had a strange way of making business decisions, this appears to make even less sense. In fact, it's Judy who admitted on a podcast that she and her husband had started, and walked away from, multiple failing businesses before finding success, with serious financial consequences.
How much do you think you probably lost financially from starting and closing those last 4 businesses that you even just mentioned?
Ooh, probably $2 million.
After 2 bankruptcies, Judy and her husband were unable to get traditional credit to support Squatty Potty, which is where the Shark Tank came in. Since stepping down from the business in 2018, Judy has stayed away from social media and is obviously enjoying her retirement and her privacy in her dream home. And since 2021, Bobby has done the same. In fact, he has been so relaxed he hasn't gotten around to changing his status on LinkedIn, where he is still listed as a CEO and owner of the company. Squatty Potty products continue to sell strongly on the website, on Amazon, and in retail stores, and they receive rave reviews from users. One devotee was even inspired to express their love of the toilet stool in the form of a haiku. Congratulations to the whole team involved in bringing Squatty Potties into bathrooms the world over.